to the cloud. Is it recording? Yes, it's recording. Okay. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Monica, and it's time for Notary Business 103. We're doing it in an unconventional way today because my son's on my desktop, and I double booked myself, so I'm doing it from the kitchen. So welcome, and that was why we are getting started at 11:30 instead of 11, because I am not paying attention to my calendar. So in Notary Business, do a recap for those of you guys who are new. All right. So for those of you who are new to this whole process, we did Notary Business 101 is my way of just having like a free foundational entrepreneurial class. It's a class that basically gives you the practical things that you need to do, from getting your business name, selecting one intentionally to make sure that it has the word notary in it if you can, to think in terms of the customer and not make all these fancy names that the customers are not going to easily understand, or that when you come up with it, it's 2 miles long and you're trying to give somebody your website and it takes you 1.5 minutes. Okay. So we talked about those little tips and tricks, because the whole thing about being a solo entrepreneur is your goal is to try to look bigger than you really are. And there's little subtle things that you can do that are very affordable, like choosing a right name, making it simplistic, getting an email address that's professional and not a @Gmail or a @Yahoo, but an @yourdomain.com, right? Having a web presence, having a nicely completed Google My Business page. These are all simple and easy things that you can do just to get your business on a foundational level where it needs to be, from which you're going to be marketing. And so that's when we went into Notary Business 102. Well, at the end of 101, the checklist you'll see includes setting up your social sites, right? Your Facebook, your social media, your Facebook, your Instagram. You need to get on TikTok. You know, I keep telling y'all I'm gonna be TikTok famous, but it's not gonna be for notary work. But the farming, people are over there watching my farming videos. I didn't pay anything for that exposure. Whereas when I tried to find you guys, when I was marketing to notaries, I had to pay to find you guys. You guys are very valuable to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, the relationship is important to me. I had to find out who you were. I had to get in your news feed. I had to find out what your pain was. I had to figure out a way to try to help you solve it, right? Because none of those things would have happened. We wouldn't be in this relationship if that hadn't happened. So when you're building your business, you have to do that exact same thing. But the problem is there's so much to choose from. There's so many different things that you could be doing that you tend to not pick a target audience. So we talked about target audience in Notary Business 102. So, and not only that, the target audience we defined as someone who has flow. Someone in the general notary workspace, you could be a real spotty situation, $25 here, $50 there. Like, that is not one business make. Businesses, especially small businesses, depend on cash flow. Cash flow is king. I would rather have $100,000 a month for 10 years guaranteed than $1 million one time, right? I know the math may make that even more obvious, but you get my point. If you can create cash flow that doesn't stop, that flows, then you are going to have a more sustainable business operation. So that means that you have to be strategic in who you select as your target audience. Well, I want to go work. I want to go do nursing homes. Okay, well, that's great. If you want to get $1,000 a week or $500 a week, then because one nursing home is not going to give you but what, 1 or 2, maybe, okay, a week or every 2 weeks, okay? So you know that in order to achieve $1,000 a week, that you're going to have lots and lots and lots of nursing homes. And that's okay. But you need to understand that you're not going to just be able to sit back and go drop off your card at 2 or 3 and then wonder why it's not working. No, it's a numbers game. And we also talked about that in 102. In any sales environment, I don't care what you're selling, it's a numbers game. The law of averages says 1 out of every 5 things is going to happen. If you walk up to 5 people and say hello, 1 in 5 people, one in those 5 are going to say hello back. Or 1 in 5 are going to not speak, or whatever the case may be. There's a 1 in 5 chance of something happening. So the more chances you give yourself, the better. The key is the target audience. It all goes back to your customer and you understanding how you're going to solve their problem and doing your marketing in that vein. Okay. So here we are, 103. We've already decided who our target audience was. something else. We determine business model in 102. Who are you? What are you going to do? What services are you providing? Pick who are you in terms of a loan signing model, or a general notary work model, or a hybrid model. Those were the three that we talked about. We talked about loan signings, we talked about general notary work, and we talked about a combination of both. And then we talked about in that worksheet that you'll find in 102, that worksheet kind of helps you figure out who, amongst all the things that we've learned at Notary Nerd University, from the notary permit runner to the RON, to the car dealership navigator, to the apostille, to the all these other things, right? The wills, estates, and trusts. There's all these different rabbit holes, right? We looked at them to see, hey, who would likely need us the most, right? And then we highlighted those that would probably have more activity than others. And then from there, based on what you chose as your model, you could determine, so use that worksheet in 102 as a guide to be able to help you figure that part out. So now we're at 103. So you've put all that in motion. You've got a Facebook page, Instagram, you're boosting posts to your target audience because you know who they are and you're going to solve their problem. And you've gone and you've paid somebody over at Fiverr to do you a decent graphic that looks like somebody, okay? And not Who Shot John, okay? Not something that you made, going and spend $10 on this because you're trying to bring money in, okay? When you're trying to bring, when you go out on a date for the first time, you go get a new outfit, right? Or you go get something, right? You go get ready, right? This whole marketing thing is just like that. So your marketing, your graphic that you put out into the Facebook posts and all of these things needs to be sharp, needs to be together, okay? Needs to say that you intend for somebody to pay attention to it, okay? Go ahead. Somebody had a question? Or is that just a thing? Let me check the chat. You guys, let me know if you're with me. Give me a thumbs up if you're with me. Let me know. Okay. Thank you, Avery. Let me know if you're with me. Thank you, Extraordinary Notary Services, LLC. Thank you, Zara. All right, cool. Thank you, Truly Blessed. Okay, cool. Okay, good. All right, so here we are. So now you got to now it's up to you. I don't know what you're going to do. You got all the information you need. Now you just need to put it into action, okay? You got to put it into action. You need to set up a budget of how much you're going to spend, and you're not going to be spending it foolishly because I've already helped you avoid that. Remember, by me showing you how to target to the people that had flow. Now you're not going to be throwing good money after bad, right? But you're going to have to spend some money because it takes money to make money. I don't know who said it didn't, but they were lying, okay? Now, the next thing is certification. Because we ain't playing no games, okay? WBE and DBE, Women Business Enterprise and Disadvantaged Business Enterprise. Look those up. Get familiar with them. I'm not going to spoon feed you that. I got to go find out myself. We are each responsible for understanding what DBE and WBE means next time we get together, okay? I don't all the way get it. I know that it is a local designation similar to like we're talking about the woman-owned small business certification. We're talking about the, veteran-owned and service-disabled veteran-owned small business, those certifications that Georgette teaches us about. Well, apparently the local level, this is not federal like those, the local level has certifications too. And it's those certifications that private companies like to see when partnering with folks. Okay, thank you, Diane. So we are about to get with the program because the notary public is a value add to most any small business in the country. Period, hands down, right? So we just have to get these certifications and we have to very good. Thank you, Diane. Women's Business Enterprise. And where else? Yeah, feed us, you guys. Let's do this. Let's all, if you're on your computer, I can't be on mine, unfortunately, right now. And so if you can, hop onto another screen. If you find some information you can throw in the chat, so that it benefits everybody. Once they save the chat, it'll be a good study guide. I will copy it. I will put it into the course so that everybody will be able to have it. Okay. So if you're finding links, if you're on your computer and doing that and the other right now, drop those links in the chat. Okay. All right. See here. It sounds like somebody has a question. I think that is. See, everybody, let's go on mute real quick. I think that's Katori. Katori, is your phone off mute? Thank you. Okay, who else is that? Ashley. Ask your doctor for a prescription for the freestyle. Let's see here. I can't do it, but Ashley, if you wouldn't mind putting your phone, thank you so much, sweetheart. Okay, here we go. 103. Review starts happening every day. Get exceptional care at Otley. Otley Holmes, can you go on mute, please?
I'm trying.
Okay, hold on. Let me help. I'm gonna see if I can do it. No obligation. No insurance. I just don't know how to do it from my phone. Now all patients can get 20% off their treatment plan. Find every reason to smile every day. Or you could just turn the TV down. Either one, leave it on, just turn it down. But so yeah, so now we're going into 103, which is these certifications. Okay, and this for the private entities. These are the companies that want to do business in a diverse manner. And they're looking for people who have taken the steps to get the certification so that they can do that. So if we don't get the certifications, thank you. Good job, Alara. Y'all put that in the chat. Let's see what y'all come up with. And this, I'll tell you what, this group chat is going to be fire, okay? Because that's going to be the checklist I'm going to develop. I'm not going to say anything about another checklist. I just got done with the second one. Let me just hold up because I'm putting too much on myself. But the point of the matter is all those things we laid out in the foundation on 101 and 102, now it's certification time. And this needs to be completed by end of second quarter. So this is the beginning of second quarter, April, May, June, right? So by the end of June, you need to have all of this done, okay? And this means, what is this? This means, first and foremost, figuring out what MBE is and DBE. We've already got the answers to that being provided in the chat. Now, figuring out where the application packet is in your city, find out who has it, what state agency or whatever, okay? Get it, print it out, just like you print out them 200-page loan packets. Sit down at right there, okay? Turn off the TV, put your phone up, okay? Get your highlighter out. You know how we do, nerds. Come on now. Figure out what they need to be done and do it. Get it done. Again, takes money to make money. I'm pretty sure they're going to have an application fee. Okay, 9 times out of 10. So instead of spending $25, $30, $40 on some new business cards or whatever, okay, go ahead on and get that application fee in for the WBE and BE, right? Because how many business cards are you really handing out for real? All right. Okay, Zara saying Texas, she just provided the texassba.org. Thank you, Zara. In the chat, for those of you in Texas, there are a lot of you in Texas, so definitely check that out. Get on that, because what's supposed to be happening in the background is you're supposed to start seeing revenue. I'm gonna say that one more time, okay? What's supposed to be happening when you're engaging in business is you're supposed to be seeing some revenue. So what needs to happen is we need to throw at the wall those marketing, the targeted marketing that you're gonna do. You're gonna have to put some money behind that. And then when that works, if it doesn't work, you're gonna have to pivot, right? You're gonna have to pivot. If it doesn't work, you're gonna have to pivot. But you gotta throw whatever budget you got for it behind it, right? Be it divided between your, how much your Facebook posts are going to be. And I don't know if you, is anybody, raise your hand if you've started to do any posts, any Facebook posts, paying for them from your business page. Let me see a show of hands. Okay, so nobody. Ilara, okay, Ilara, can you come off mute and tell us what that's been like?
Hi. But
Hey.
but do you mean like as for notary or just in general?
Well, for your notary business, in other words, have you been doing any marketing like for general notary work or loan signings?
No, this is my first time on notary anything. My friend just hooked me up, but I have done ads on Facebook, so I apologize.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. Talk to us about that, because the fact of the matter is the mechanics of the ad is the most important part, right? So you understand about how to target audience and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what worked for you?
Honestly, I'll be so honest. I didn't really have the best results from Facebook advertisements. I've just noticed that I've just had so much more results on just more of communicating with people, which I just seem to be better on, and
Gotcha.
just finding people. But I know other people have different experiences, so I don't want to go off of mine.
Right. No, that was good. I appreciate you sharing that with us, because that's honest, because she's real. She's right. Same here. Facebook, I have spent money and sometimes on Facebook and not gotten any return back. Because why? The audience, you have to know your audience. And so sometimes when I was marketing to an audience who I thought was on Facebook, they really weren't on Facebook.
Right.
Okay, they were more of an Instagram audience, right? So let's just say, for instance, that you want to target roofers for the notary permit runner. So you took the notary permit runner course. Now you're excited about targeting roofers or even solar panel companies. Well, if you do an ad on Facebook for solar panel companies, you're not as likely to get as good results as if you were to market on Angie's List to solar panel companies. Does that make sense? Give me a thumbs up if that makes sense. Since I can't see everyone. Okay, great. So knowing that all social media platforms are not going to match with everybody with the right audience, it just so happened for me personally, for Notary Nerds University, that Facebook was the perfect place for me to meet notaries, right? Facebook was the perfect place for me. And Instagram's pretty good too, but really Facebook is perfect for notaries, people like real estate agents, insurance people are easy to find on Facebook. So there's some of our target audience are easy to find on Facebook and some of them aren't. So we need to LinkedIn is where you want to go if you want to target attorneys, right? Immigration attorneys, bankruptcy attorneys need you. Divorce attorneys need you. You can pick a group of attorneys and they can be your baby. And you could take good care of every last one of them in your county and probably do well in life, okay? But you've got to target to them and you've got to know what their problem is and you got to help them solve it, right? Real estate attorneys, okay? Having a good, reliable, professional mobile notary at their call, right? But they've got to get to know, like, and trust you. And that's going to be a big part of how you, if you're going to be able to make things work. It's going to be really a lot of it is branding too, guys. And we don't spend enough time talking about building your brand. But case in point, me and my son, DJ, and well, actually all of us, I picked up everybody from school, Malcolm and DJ, and we were going through the car wash. And the car wash, I think, used to be named Sudsy's, and it was all bright and bubbly and this and that, but somebody took it over. And we noticed a difference in it. It wasn't bad, it just wasn't as bright and bubbly. And so as we went through the car wash, let's see here, I think it's Janae. Could you go on mute for me, Janae? We get to the car wash and it wasn't as happy, and we both noticed it. But we were like, the building's the same, the equipment's the same, everything's the same. The people have on a different color shirt, but it just wasn't bright and bubbly anymore. Like, we used to be happy going through the car wash, like putting on our favorite song and the lights would come on and it would be our thing, right? But this time it was just like different. And as we went through the car wash, I said, you know what? The brand changed. It's not the same. And I didn't realize, it took me until that point, and this was yesterday, that I realized the importance of branding, especially with me developing the brand around Notary Nerds, right? So your company's brand is so important. And don't feel so tied to it because you've had it for 6 months that you can't let it go and do a refresh, boo. Okay. If you feel like that ain't what it is after you've learned some things, because let's say this, a lot of us ran out in front of the horse and got all of our branding and picked a name and did all of that based on what we thought we knew about this business then. Now we've learned some things. Now we want to add a service. Now we want to this, and we want to maybe offer it this way or that way or whatever. So maybe, here's the thing in business, whatever you start, you can stop and start again, or you can revise. That's how businesses work. You know how many builders there are that shut down a company under one name and started up again under another? Don't get so tied. Don't be emotionally attached to your decisions as a business owner. Don't be. Get over that. If you've come to an awareness now that says, hey, you know what, my business name and my brand isn't really what I want it to be, because I'm going to go after this group, and if I go after this group, I'm going to have to do this. So since no one really knows about me right now, maybe it's time for me to do a refresh second quarter, get that tightened up, because now I know who I'm going after, because I'm going after the long haul. Because what's happening next is I'm going to replace myself because I need to go on vacation. So I need to create flow and at the same time be recruiting and collaborating with other like minds. And so the slow development of my own little small signing service will happen so that I can be gone and all of these things can be occurring in my absence. That's the goal. That's why you can't be emotionally attached to decisions that could potentially hurt you in your goal to get to your target audience. Does that make sense? Okay. And just think about it. A lot of us haven't even been in business 12 months. Don't nobody know who we are for real. Oh, but I already picked and some of y'all got so similar. Whoever this designer is with this pen and this feather. Okay. Okay. That you have to be different. We have to make sure we differentiate ourselves from, somebody said something, I don't know, was the Wednesday night call, Bluebird Notary. I could do so much with that. Cardinal Notary. It doesn't have to be these big complex hieroglyphic, all this other stuff. All you got to do is stand out to the customer. See, standing out to the customer is what marketing is all about. That's why Coca-Cola and Pepsi spend so much money every single year to remind us, and they never ask us to buy it. They spend millions and millions of dollars advertising their products, but they never say buy it, and they never tell us where we can get one at. Okay, so it's just a matter of them reminding us constantly how great it is and how they'll solve our problem of thirst and enjoyment. Okay, that's what they pay money to do. So that's the kind of thing that we have to do when we're marketing our business. All right, let's see here. Raise a hand if you have a question so we can see where everyone is. See here, do we have any questions? Anybody in the chat? Okay. Let me make sure I'm accessing it because I don't really even see the chat anymore. There we go. Absolutely, rebrand if you need to. Desiree, thank you for that. Yes, Diana said 1,000%. Zara, oh yeah, I know what you're laughing at. Yeah, 3-word call to action. I like that. How do you raise a hand? I don't know how to do it, honestly. I'm playing around on my phone and I'm not exactly sure. What was that one question? Let me go back to it. 3-word statement. 3-word call to action. Register now, download free now. Call to actions are those things that make somebody do something. And they're really effective when they're coupled with a deadline. If that person's going to do it, they're going to do it. If they want to do it and it solves that problem bad enough, they're going to take advantage of that offer, right? And it's always about an offer. You want to make everything, when you're spending money on your marketing, you want to make sure you have a solid offer. So that may mean, I don't like this, but sometimes do, the one free notarization or whatever, or I don't even like that. I'm gonna take that back. We don't need to do that, right? What we need to do, and I'm not saying don't do it, keep it simple. Yeah, keep it simple, somebody. That's not how I learned that acronym, but yes, keep it simple, somebody. What was I saying? No, that made me lose my train of thought. Somebody help me out. I'm old.
Don't do a free offer. Come up with another type of offer.
Thank you. Yeah, figure something else out. Figure something else out. Thank you so much. That's it. Figure something else out. Give something though. You know what I mean? Make it convenient to them. Ron, I'm finally, guess what? The reason that I hadn't gotten identity trust verified yet is because I entered I got in the clubhouse by accident. Don't you guys hate when that happens? Anyway, I didn't put the right email. So I had been waiting all this time to receive information from them and it was my fault. So I segued to ident trust because of Ron, because of the amazing opportunity for those of us who are Ron, who are able to do Ron, to provide services to specifically attorneys. Okay. Raise your hand if you attended the wills, estates, and trust class. Let me see. Or thumbs up. Okay, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, good. So I'm sure that you guys picked up on, thank you, Janae, yes, the opportunity there with attorneys, right? Especially for the Ron. So that is definitely one thing that you have to step back and look at the macroeconomic situation. Notary publics in the United States make sure that commerce flows. Notary publics in the United States make sure that commerce flows. Without notaries public, deeds can't be transferred. Safe deposit boxes aren't going to be verified. What else? Will assets aren't transferred. What happens in each of those situations? In every single one of those things, it has to be authenticated by a notary public. That's why every county in this country has one, and every parish and everything like that, right? That's because that it's without us, commerce doesn't flow. So all of us who are in this entrepreneurial space now, all we have to do now is position ourselves where we want to be. It's not just about doing loan signings. It's not just about affidavits and whatnot. It's about being available to a target audience that we know is going to need us on a regular basis. And to a volume and to establish a reputation to the degree that now we have more business than we can do ourselves. And now we have a team of people who we have trained that are able to assist us, right? And now we maybe even will be providing jobs to some young folks, right? Or retirees, right? So, and this industry can happen in short fashion. Why? Because everybody's eye is on one ball right now, and that's the refinance market. And I got started out of college in 2004. I graduated from Austin Peay with a degree in business with a concentration in finance. I went and I worked for a company called Household Finance. They're a subprime lender from 2004 to 2007. All I did was refinances, right? I did refinances all day, every day, and they weren't the best refinances. They were refinances with high interest rates and, cash out to go pay off credit cards that we knew that the people were going to go and run the credit cards right back up again, right? So I stayed in subprime lending. So I know that space. And what I know about that space is it is cyclical, right? The interest rates are being kept artificially low right now. And they have been for a long time. And so the refi thing, I'm talking to some of the lenders, they're saying some of the mortgage companies are starting to kind of downsize a little bit with the number of loan officers they have on, because they've already taken care of the first big wave that comes through. So, and we all know that nothing lasts forever in the mortgage market and the real estate market. There's ups and there's downs. So we also know, as we talk to Notary Business 101 and 102, that it takes 90 days to build a pipeline at anything. I don't care if you're selling igloos, okay? You got about 90 days of ramp up period that you're going to need to be able to find out who wants your igloos, okay? And get to communicating with them, be that by phone, by email, dropping by, or whatever the case may be. Because why? You're trying to get married and you got to go see them, right? And you got to look sharp and have it together when you go. So it's really simple business, okay? Business is not difficult at all, but what we have to always remember is we have to think in terms of the customer. And if we do that, then we'll win. So picking your target audience, I was talking about the Ron, in my style with Identrust. So I moved that forward. Now I'm going to go ahead and get that. And honestly, I think I'm fixing to go ham with it. Marketing absolutely is the lifeblood of business, Desiree. That's why a lot of businesses fail, because the practitioner, the technician, the person who owns a business is knowledgeable in that skill set, but not good at marketing. And if you can't market your business, then you might as well, I don't know.
Hang it
I
up.
don't even know. I don't even know. But any questions?
Monica,
Yes, Desiree, go ahead.
I just learned something. I was on another webinar earlier this morning, and that was the topic of our discussion, is about marketing. That's where I learned about marketing is the lifeblood of business. But I just wanted to make a comment. On the webinar, they talked about how you're not, say, a real estate agent, you're not just a notary, you're not just a business person. You are a marketer before you become anything else, because you are there to market the business that you're trying to offer to somebody. And you also have to have your target market in place. You need to know who you're going to target when you want to market it to someone. So that was really, that really stood out for me. And the other comment I wanted to make is that someone said, you are considered selfish if you don't provide a service through marketing so other people can know what it is you can offer them, or if you are trying to help them solve a problem. I was like, boom, mind blowing.
Right. That
That's
right
it.
there, when you put it, yes, that is it. When you put it in terms of, if you're not marketing your business, you are not helping that person who needs help. And you claim you want to help them.
Absolutely.
But you don't.
Absolutely.
You see? So that I love that. And that was, I had one of those aha moments when it was put in terms of, just like you just said it, Desiree, that's exactly what made it click. Dang it, if I don't get this done, then I'm not going to be able to, all these things I say I want to do, and this community I want to build, and all these children I want to help, do I really? If I'm not out here busting my ass, getting my business done, getting my stuff done, getting in front of my target audience, solving their problems, getting that money, creating them assets so I can go buy this 200 acres. Really? So you really have to check yourself, right? If you say you want to do a thing, then you really have to look at real close. Really? Do you really want to do it? Because if you did, then your business would be popping, because you wouldn't sleep until it was. And if it's messing up, you need to pivot and figure out, hey, like Melinda's doing a profit and loss class tonight, right? If you didn't make any money last month, you need to figure out why, right? What caused that? Did I not market enough? Did I overspend? What was the cause of that, right? Let's see here. Go ahead, Renee. Did you have a question?
Oh, no, ma'am.
Oh, okay. All right. So let me get you on mute for, if you could, please.
I have a couple
Thank you.
questions, Monica. Does somebody else have their hand up?
Hold on. No, I'm sorry. Who is this? Let me see. Because I didn't even see any hands up. I can't. Go
This is-
ahead.
Okay, so that's probably my quill pen and feather that you were talking about a while ago.
Girl, it's yours and about 252 other notaries. Okay, so don't even, yeah, it's the same designer, I think.
So I am actually kind of toying around with that. I did think about it. It hurt a little bit. Well, it stung when you said that my business name was too long. So I do know that I need to cut that down. But I guess I want to see if anybody have any suggestions. It was Lawson Mobile Notary and Loan Signing agent, I think. So I was trying to see if anybody had any suggestions on ways to cut that down, possibly, so that I can kind of look for a new logo. And I know I need to be present on the LLC, because I want to try to do an umbrella with all of the stuff that I have.
First of all, I love you for being honest and saying that stung. And I didn't mean it to hurt. I'm sorry for that. But I'm thankful that you received it. I'm thankful that you received it with love and didn't take offense to it. And I think that was really very mature of you and shows that you are really going to be a strong business owner, because in business, that's sometimes what we have to do. And y'all, peep what she just did, because some of y'all ain't there yet and need to do it too. Peep what she just did. She owned it. She said, okay, well, and then the big thing was, she said, do you guys have any recommendations? Now that ability to accept constructive criticism and then take action on it makes a smart business owner, makes somebody who's not going to let any kind of emotional thing prevent them from getting to the money. So big ups to you on that, Narisa. I like Lawson Notary Service. I mean, I think what I'm learning from marketing is that the more simplistic something is and easy to remember, the better for the consumer. Because we get so much marketing thrown at us on a daily basis that if we can make it simple and our marketing simple to our audience, then we have it. We're going to be ahead of the game. So, but again, thank you for that.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Can I say something right quick?
Yes. Is that Vanessa?
Yeah, it's me. One of the things that I learned in a class, and this is obviously after I've already branded my company, is that people should really use their names. And as crazy as that is, because a lot of people don't want that type of like publicity, because I'm a kind of person that like to be on the DL. That's just me. But they say if you use your name when you brand your business, it allows you to open up other ventures. So when somebody says, hey, Vanessa Dunston is a notary, but she also does fingerprinting. So when you go to the website, it would say, your name, work with me, and all the things that you do are listed.
Yeah.
So your name is your brand.
It can't. You're right. It definitely can be. And that's the thing. It's about knowing. I think where we, and I do this all the time. I try to come up with the logo before I come up with my mission statement, right? And really, you really should do the mission statement of who you're trying to serve first, and then allow the logo to develop around that. That way, you're building a real brand that is reflective of who you are and why you're in business, instead of just some random thing, right? So now that imagery is, you're able to convey that to a designer, and they're able to put it all on your stuff, and it makes sense when they see it, when you put it out into your target audience. So your name can absolutely, yes, I 100% agree with you, Vanessa. I think there's definitely more than one way to do things, and I think it all really depends on who your customer is. Like for me, Complete Signings was my goal with Complete Signings was to establish a signing service that focused on making the notary first, kind of like a real estate brokerage does with a real estate agent. My thought was to take my real estate brokerage model and apply it to the notary space and appeal to that appeal to that notary by providing them with leads from Google Business. So my company, and the reason I was doing that was because I wanted to attract the best. And that's the reason why I even created Notary Nerds Facebook group. My whole purpose was to recruit the best notaries, because my company was Complete Signings, where the notary signing is complete or it was free. So I couldn't play games with folks who didn't know how to scan stuff back the right way, right? So I was intentional about trying to find the smartest notaries in the internet. Okay. And I have done that. Okay. I have been successful because I have now networked with some of the smartest notaries in about 50 states. Okay. And all right here. Right. So it worked, but that's why I named my business Complete Signings. And I went and got a logo that looked like a notary stamp. So you see what I'm saying? So because I knew where I was going with that business. Now, things changed direction, but not for real. What happened was Notary Nerds did something I didn't know it was going to do. Okay. So it kind of came out of nowhere. Like, okay, I created this Facebook group so that I could find these notaries so I could come over here and do this general notary work. Well, I ended up having to pivot from the general notary work because I didn't have enough money to spend on Google Ads to find out. Okay. Still don't understand Google Ads. So that's what and all of that, there had to be decisions made and no, no shit's given. Okay, sometimes I don't know what other words to use but cuss words. Okay, sometimes there have to be no shits given about what people were going to say about the decisions you're making with your business, right? I ran a risk when I changed directions on January the 1st of everybody being pissed off at me. Who gave shits? Nobody. I'm just going to make it right before you can get mad, right? But I'm going to pivot. You know what I'm saying? Because I see that it's not working. And I've been in business long enough to know that my money does not you can't keep going when you're spending money after something that's not working. So you can't worry about what people are going to say and how they're going to feel about it. You just got to beat them to the emotional punch and make them happy before they get a chance to be mad, right? And always give more than you receive in the first place. So you're always you're never in a deficit with your relationships in business. You never want to be in a deficit in your relationships in business. I can't say that enough. You can't outdo me, right? I'm going to give you more better service than you could get from, period. Right? When you think about it, you're going to think, okay, no, I really don't want to use another realtor. No, I really don't want to use another notary because I know the experience that I'm going to get from this person, even if she's not perfect, she's going to make sure that the job
Bring me
gets
a
done.
strawberry ice cream.
I want some strawberry ice cream too, Raven.
I'm so sorry.
I want butter pecan, but so the point there is you can't give whatever you got to do to get right, sis, on what you about to do and who you about to target to, do it, is what I say. Okay? Stuff. There we go. Thank you, Desiree. I'm trying to do better. Okay? All right. So this is Notary Business 103. This is WBE, DBE. Your action items, and I'll put this in the checklist. This will be the final checklist. Okay? You have 101 checklist. You have 102's checklist and then 103 checklist. And I promise you it's not going to take me a month to do the 103 checklist because I have hired 2 people and I've been training them all week and I'm still training. So everybody's got their payroll set up and we got all the state stuff taken care of. But now I'm having to take everything that's in my mind and teach them. And that's a challenge for me. So I'm learning a lot about myself. But I say all that to say, now that they're on board, it's not going to take me so long to get these tools to you, right? So thank you guys, for those of you for the patience that you and the grace you extended me on that. So 103's checklist is going to have print off the WBE, DBE application, complete both. Okay. Desiree, yes, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I didn't want to break your train of thought, but I think we really need to add to Notary Business 103 as we are building our business. We got to talk about insurance, medical, healthcare, as well as E&O insurance. So you got to have business and you got to have personal. We've got to put that on that checklist because if we're out here self-employed, we need to have coverage. And I think that's important to add to the checklist. I just wanted to mention that.
Okay, I think that is so on target, right? So I always overlook insurance. Insurance is so very important. Business insurance is so very important. Okay, E&O, no, especially if you decided to do the assisted living facilities and the hospitals and all these different places where you might run into situations that are more litigious than others. Wills, people on their deathbed, assets being transferred right there at the end, things that are highly likely to end back up in court. Looking at the insurances, if you're going to focus on that as your target audience, then you might need to look at a different type of policy. Health insurance, okay? Okay, the 102 checklist and the 101 checklist is in the course at Notary Nerd University. So when you log in, you might have to hunt and peck, but it's in there. But thank you, Desiree. I have reached out. Actually, you know what? I don't know if you're going to be able to thank you for that link, Catherine, but I don't think you're going to be able to get to the Notary Business 102 class. You're not going to be able to get to this free series from Notary Nerd University. I got to find a link and post it in the group. Now, if you search our Facebook group, it's in there, one of the welcome posts. Yeah, search for a welcome post. And that link to the Notary Business 101 is in every one of those welcome posts. But to Desiree's point, we need some insurance conversations to happen. I have reached out to the bondlady.org. Y'all check her website out. She is, Tammy told me about her. She is very knowledgeable in insurance. I need to bring somebody on that's very knowledgeable. Tammy's very knowledgeable. She spent 10 years with State Farm on the adjuster side. Some of that stuff is just completely, you would be mind blown. We were talking about scenarios. What if a notary public on our way to a signing is in a, a vehicle accident? You've got notary documents in that are time sensitive. The person that you're heading to loses their whatever, misses their grant deadline, or misses something that cost them millions of dollars or thousands of dollars because of your vehicle accident. Does your auto insurance cover you in the event that they come after you, or does your E&O come in? Like, who does that? So we were just throwing these different scenarios out there just to see. In the course of doing business, we don't think about it, but even the type of car insurance you have as a notary public needs to be looked at. So insurance, period. We need to have a class on that. And I am working on trying to find somebody. I only reached out to the notary, the notary insurance lady once. So I will do that again. And, but Desiree, thank you for bringing that to the forefront, because you're exactly right. Okay, let's see here. Let's go to the chat. Okay, got you, Desiree. Personal and business insurance. Tamika asked, if you are just starting out, what is a realistic timeline to set up your professional image, website, business address, social media, etc.? Great question, Tamika. 90 days. Yeah, 90 days, because in all that time, you're getting a whole lot done. You're getting all of that done. All these checklists need to be done in 90 days. So if you started on 102 already, 101 already, you're supposed to be, this should take you 1 quarter. 3 months. Okay, if you're serious about business, you should be able to get this done. Oh, girl, go ahead on in 2 weeks. No, your DUNS number is gonna come quick. No, you need to give yourself time, right? No, because you want to be able to get all your stuff done, and some of these government agencies are closed or slow. So some of the stuff you're gonna need from them is gonna take up your time. So no, you're good. Let's see here. Every says E&O would come in and the auto insurance only covers a small portion. She's an agent for farm insurance. Okay, good. Okay, Every, see, I didn't know that. So this is why we need to have information on insurance. So Desiree, thank you again for bringing that up. Okay, so what other questions do we have? Exactly, EIN and DUNS, you have to allow for delays in time. There's all kinds of stuff that you're gonna have that are gonna come that you're not going to have any control over, and you're going to want to go ahead and make sure you give yourself extra time at the beginning. And that's why you give yourself 90 days to get set up in any business. Okay. Don't rush out and grab the first logo. Don't rush out and go with the first name. Don't rush out and do any of that. Once you've obtained the knowledge that you need, and you know where your target audience is going to be, and you know how you need to be perceived by them, and what you need to look like, and what your name needs to bring, get your brand together, right? Write off whatever you have already spent that you're having to redo as a business expense. You're going to need it at the end of the year anyway. No big deal. It takes money to make money, folks. No big deal. Pick it up and move. I know people that have walked away from $10,000. So this little $300-400, whatever you done spent so far, if you got to redo some of it, that is a drop in the bucket, right? I've never walked away from $10,000. Let me be clear. Okay. But in real estate transactions, I have sworn up and down that the person would not walk away because they had 10 grand on the line, and they walked away and their 10 grand took off the line, let's just say. Okay. So you never can judge anybody else's pockets. That's another thing. You don't know what anybody else will and won't do with their money, or how much money they do and don't have. So that's just another lesson in business. Don't do that. Oh, they won't pay $125 for my mobile fingerprinting. You don't know that. You don't know that. If you present yourself to the audience that's in demand, and you provide them with a convenience, and their pain is getting solved, then you don't know what folks will pay. I didn't think people would buy bottled water when it came out, but look at it now, right? Why is there a Sonic and a Burger King and a McDonald's why can they all exist on the same street? Convenience, right? So, yep. Let me get in on this. Congratulations. Congratulations, Catherine. What are we congratulating? I'm gonna see here. Oh, congratulations. Yes, on your commission. Got sworn in. You're on number 4. I love that. Good job, Catherine. Way to go. So Tamika says, how long were you a notary before you started your signing service? I think that might be to me. I actually got my commission in August of 2004. I'm sorry, 2020. So just last fall. And I didn't get my certificate until September. So September, October, I was taking a whole bunch of loan signing classes. I took all of the loan signing classes. And then October, I decided to go ahead and do a signing service because I knew I wasn't going to do well as a loan signing agent. So, but I left the thought that I remember from earlier, back to the fact that I named my business Complete Signings, right? Because I was going to set up a signing service similar to a real estate brokerage, right? That's still in full effect. Like, in other words, I'm not letting go of that signing service idea. It's just that Notary Nerds kind of took off. So when I was talking about IdenTrust and getting all that taken care of, well, the reason is because I never really deployed my marketing to my sphere of influence. I'm a real estate broker by trade, and I have been in real estate since 2011 full time, right? I've owned my own brokerage since 2014. So I have an extensive number of title company contacts and mortgage people contacts and all kind of real estate contacts that I never, ever even marketed to, not once. Why? Because my signing service was going to be based on general notary work. I sent them an email to let them know I was building my signing service, but I didn't say, hey, let my people do your signings. I didn't do that. So now that I'm getting IdenTrust resolved, getting my digital certificate and getting that Ron thing going, I can see myself doing a signing service behind Ron. At least here in Tennessee, I can. So we'll see how that turns out. But my point is, sometimes when you pivot, it's just for a minute. You see what I'm saying? You just have to be aware, and your budget really needs to define that, right? What? And Melinda said, don't forget Florida. I know that's right. I'm coming wherever I can come. Look, if y'all haven't noticed by now, I like to keep it in the family, okay? I like to keep it in the family. Like, this little thing we got going on right here, to me, is good. Everybody's at a different stage and this and the third, but I feel like we're developing our own little community here, and I like it because, as we're reading in the book club today, as a matter of fact, and the whole idea of masterminding and working together with people is that you have to bring people who are harmonious together in order to accomplish great things. So that means that if you have people who are maybe riddled or struggling with fear, or they're not as positive as you, or everything's always happening to them, and but that doesn't seem to be this group. This group seems to be a lot of go-getters, a lot of people trying to figure things out. We have our little bumps in the road. Everybody's got a bad day. That's why I'm not real quick to delete stuff in the group and stuff like that, because people are people, and sometimes you just need to get things out, and I get that. But for the most part, our group is a very positive group of like-minded people who are really just trying to provide for our families and live a better life and spend more time with the people that we love, doing the things that we care about. And we need money to do that. You know what I mean? That's basically it. You know what I'm saying? This was not this is a means. This is a vehicle for us to be able to achieve some other things. And it just so happened that we didn't know how lucrative it could be. But we've got to we're like Zara said a long time ago, we're disrupting the market. We're finding spaces that people need us, and we're presenting ourselves in a professional way to be able to solve that. And we need to do it in a voluminous manner. We don't want a one in here and one in there. We want to make sure we find the flow, like we talked about in Notary Business 102. So, because revenue is everything, and if we're not generating revenue, we're not doing something right, and we just need to be honest with ourselves about whatever it is, and pivot and do that, right? So, it's just not giving a goo gaga what somebody thinks about your business. You do you rebrand. And another thing, for those of you guys who have multiple things, here's this thing you want to listen to and do with it what you will. If you're going to go after government contracts and you want to go after as a notary, then you probably don't want to couple too much else with that. Like say you had, like say I was trying to put the real estate and the notary and the farming all together into one business and call it Monica LLC, right? Your notary real estate farm company. Well, let's just say I go after a grant at the USDA saying, hey, I want to get this grant or I want to get this loan. And the USDA says, okay, great. Well, let's look at your books and see where your revenues are coming from to see if you can support this loan or to see if you're going to be able to handle this grant. Well, guess what Monica's LLC is going to have to do? She's going to have to go and divide up all the real estate stuff from the farming stuff, from the notary stuff to prove that she's got the economic ability to either support a loan request or to support the ability to manage a grant or award. So if you're gonna go after government contracts, it's okay to keep things separate. As a matter of fact, probably better because you'll be able to show and prove your ability to support that contract or that loan request in an easy way. So I guess my thing is, don't be afraid to have multiple businesses. You know, a lot of times what we do is we put the businesses together out of convenience to us because we don't want to pay the $300 per LLC or whatever it is, right? And that's fine. Like in my case, I have one LLC and two sole proprietorships. You know, I'm not going to necessarily run out and get LLCs on every single business. You can operate as a sole prop. You can, again, going back to what Desiree said about the insurance, get with somebody who can give you extra, the protection, the business insurance you need that can give you that added protection on your business, which is what you're seeking that LLC for too. Not that that will be replacing of it in any way, because you know the things that the LLC can provide extend beyond just asset protection. It could go and give you some tax advantages and things like that. So, but my point is, talk to whoever you need to talk to figure out how to protect your sole proprietorship, but it can be adequately protected with insurance and policies and procedures and that kind of thing. Okay. So don't necessarily lump all of your businesses into one because it's convenient to you. You have to think in terms of, in the long haul, am I going to be pursuing government contracts? And if so, do I want to have to go through trying to get all this stuff separated when I'm doing an application and they want me to prove what I'm saying? Any questions?
I have one, Monica. Hi, it's Michelle.
Hey, Michelle.
Hey, so a little bit back where you had said that you preferred, you didn't really like the loan signing, it wasn't for you, but you're doing the Ron. Is there any particular reason why personally you can share with us, or you know, me, I'm just intrigued because I'm leaning more towards Ron versus just a traditional loan signing. So what would you not like about the loan signing? Because I know you've been in the space for, you know, real estate. Was there anything particular that, you know, that put you off?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a very good question. And I don't mind sharing it at all. I'm spoiled. And as a broker, I get paid at the closing. And having to wait 2 weeks for the money for docs that I might not have gotten on time, to go to a place that may not have even wanted me to come in, to have animals and cleanliness issues to deal with, to drive hours, you know, none of that appealed to me. I was just spoiled. I've gotten to a place in my career where I have already done that hard work, because it is hard work. Being a loan signing agent is hard work, period. And I just have, in my mind, already moved past that. And I knew that my personality now, and COVID helped a lot too, because I knew that I wasn't really going to be comfortable going in and out of people's homes and coming back to my own, with my son being a former asthmatic, or, you know, still having to kind of watch things. So and my dad was here at the time, God rest his soul now. But there was just all of those things combined, Michelle, played a big role in why I decided that model wasn't for me.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm glad you said that first, because that's me. You know, even though I'm not in the real estate as far as broker, but I am familiar with the real estate. But most of all, just like you, I have a family member who is asthmatic and on dialysis at home. And then I'm a germaphobe. So even though I'm a nurse, but you know, I didn't play with the COVID, and then the cleanliness, you know, and pets. You know, I'm not a pet person. You know, they're cute from a distance. But, you know, I just heard stories of pets biting people, and I just don't, yeah, I'm like you. It just, that part, you know, and then the fact that, you know, the documents, like you said, I'm more of a very meticulous person. So I want things, if I'm handling business and doing business, and I do understand that, you know, this is the business of being a loan signing agent, but I'm like you, I want my documents on time so I can review them, so I can get to my clients on time, so I can keep my schedule. So that way, you know, I'm leaning more towards Ron as well, because you cut out a lot of that, you know, and I'm just trying to live a stress-free life and then protect my family, you know. So I thank you for sharing that personal, because that's helping me more and more to lean towards Ron versus the traditional. Thank you.
Well, good. I'm glad I could help. Thank you for letting me share and asking. Janae, you got your hand up?
Yes, thank you. I'm glad you brought that up, because I got my notary commission back just over a month ago after so many years of doing it. But I too have an issue with going into people's homes and being an insurance adjuster, public insurance adjuster. I've ran into a lot of issues, like the people being unclean, because my clean and your clean may be two different things, and the pets and things like that. So what I have done, and it may offend people, and I tell them, I said, I don't mean to offend, you know, but if you have pets or whatever, you know, if you could have them put up, if you could have all these things that I have a checklist that I go through when I make the appointment on the phone. And if they do that, then my loan signing can run smoothly. But I too think, Monica, you're correct. I think I'm gonna try to lean more towards the Ron, since now I'm able to. But just going in and out of people's homes is COVID, and I've done it for years when I was a public insurance adjuster, and I really didn't like it. I didn't like it. So
I've been in a lot of homes. People like us who go in and out of people's homes for a living see a lot.
Yeah.
And so
more than you want to see.
More than you want to see, right? I've done showings that you would not believe. So yeah, I think a person's home is their personal space, and unless I got to be in there on some personal stuff, I don't want to deal with it. Samantha, go ahead.
Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. I have a question going back to the having different companies. I'm so new when it comes to, you know, having your own business and running your own business. Does it take? So I'm just going to give an example. So if I have the loan signing, and then I have a daycare, and then I decide to do some type of crafting type business online. I know you're not an accountant, but your suggestions on, do I need 3 different bank accounts, or should I bank with the same bank and have 3 different accounts with that same bank? How would that work? Because I've seen these online banks also. So I was thinking about having my loan signing with an online bank. So if somebody can help me out with that, that's about as much as my question.
So that's a really good question. And so you have basically 3 different businesses, which all should have their own identity, which means they all should have their own individual bank accounts, right? And each of those businesses are kept separate, and you have individual cards for each of those businesses, and they don't have to be at the same bank. But like with me, I've got all of my business at one bank, right? There are some online, Diana just put Blue Line pays 1% interest. And then Antoinette, we're coming to you next. But yeah, so you would have each of them in their own situation. And what that's gonna do is that's gonna show you who is bringing in the revenue and who is not. Because there's only gonna be so much of paying to keep accounts open for the businesses who aren't really businesses, but hobbies, right? So you might have the daycare business account and it's constantly activity going boom, boom, boom. Why? Because the demand for that is clear. People need people to watch their kids, right? Notary business account might be booming, 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 but it may take you a couple of months to get the craft thing going, right? So maybe it's not necessary to run out and get that account yet. Just have it on, be on deck with that, right? So you just have to look at what businesses are generating the revenues in order to make the decision to invest in those accounts and set up. If it's generating revenues, this is kind of how I feel about it. You earn your LLC. My businesses have to earn their LLC. Before I spend that $300, you have to have made me $300. I had to have brought $300 in. If you're, I'm not going to run and spend money on you. I'm going to spend the money I need to market you business and get you out there in front of everybody. I'm going to spend the money on you to make you look and smell good business, get you a nice graphic logo. I'm going to get you a nice little quality website business. I'm going to spend those monies on you, but I am not fixing to go get you an LLC until you bring me some more money.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. So if I'm spending, I get it. It needs to be separate, 3 separate, but not really decide to open up a new account yet on that separate account business until I'm making some revenue.
Bam.
And I thank you about the Blue Vine. I did check into the Blue Vine. That is a good online company. You even get a money market with them too. So if anybody else is thinking about, yeah, they actually have a money market at 1%. Yeah, it's really nice. That's more than even my credit union is giving me on my money market. So
wow. And
Yeah.
since you're with the credit union, when you do get ready to open that account with them, go see what they can do for you. With your business accounts, you want to make sure you've got the flexibility to accept payments and pay vendors. And you want to make sure that they can, they can wire, you can receive wire funds, without any challenges. So as long as they can do all those things, you're good. Yeah.
Also, to add to that, make sure you're setting up a business account, not a personal account, but a business account, because you're building your business and you want to also do some credit lines and stuff. So you want to make sure it's a business account, not just a personal account.
True.
Okay, thanks, Desiree. Yeah, because right now I'm being lazy. I'm doing some run, but I'm letting all those monies go to a second account I have. It's not actually a personal account. It's a second account where I did use as a business, but actually didn't make it a business account. I know that's sad, but I'm getting there, everybody.
Yeah, just get it all. Just take one thing at a time. Antoinette, you're next.
Hi everyone. I just wanted to go back to the Ron. I decided that I had took the training and everything as a Ron. As a signing agent, and I'm petrified going to people's houses. I am. After I decided that that's what I had to do. So now I'm a Ron, and I love it because I'm home, I feel safe. And not only that, the clients, they will feel safe, and it's reasonable for them too. So I'm at the marketing stage. I just started. And I'm telling you something else too. It takes a long time to get on those platforms for me, to get on like Notary Live and Notarize, and I'm working on another platform too. So it takes time. It takes time, and you gotta have patience when you start out in the Ron. So I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out my audience now. So that's where I'm at, trying to figure out who I reach out to on the Ron. So that's where I am.
Good job, Antoinette. That's impressive. You pivoted. You made a decision.
I did, real quick. I had to.
Sometimes you got to do that, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Good job on that. Vanessa.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Going back to the business credit, that might be something you might want to add to one of these 101s, 102s, 103s.
Well, I'll tell you that I would if I could do it for free. because I don't have that knowledge, I will have to go pay somebody to bring it to you guys. So that means I have to put them on the university. And that means you have to subscribe. So I've got a couple of people who I have been talking to about the business credit that have track records of being able to actually say that they've been able to do it. Because I don't bring anybody onto the platform who doesn't have the ability to do whatever it is. They don't have the experience. So I would absolutely do it in the 101 or 2 or 3 if it was coming from my content. It ain't. So I got to go pay them for their time. But we're working on that though. We need that because honestly, if you're going to do the loan signing agent, which is still a great business for some, you want that vehicle that you're driving to be in the business's name. Come on. Okay.
Like the simple
Yes,
stuff, like,
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You got to write that off on your taxes.
Man.
So go ahead, Vanessa.
I said, I'm talking about like the simple stuff. Like, how do you even check your business credit?
Now, and see, right. Some of these things you're going to go do your research on, right? Because there's all these different companies out there that give you all this free tutorials and stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? You got NAV credit. You got, if you do even a quick Google search on that, you'll be able to get started in the right direction.
Okay.
But as far as actually being able to, so you want to lay your foundational knowledge down with just that, right? Going and doing that research, because I don't really know of anybody other than NAV. And if anybody's done any research on business credit, you've heard of this company I'm talking about, which is NAV Credit or NAV. I can't remember the name. They got a huge Facebook group. They got YouTube videos. If you've ever done a YouTube search for business credit, this company has come up. They've got a whole free get to know business credit situation. But the reality of it is we need somebody that's going to be able to teach us how to do it, like physically, because you have to pay so much money to sign up with their program. But but once you sign up with it, though, they say that you're going to get it. I just have never pulled the trigger to do it because I've never taken it that seriously. But to your point, do your research on that, figure out the basics, and then know that I'm going to be finding somebody who's actually done it to be able to come and hold our hands.
So are you saying NABS is different than Dun & Bradstreet?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So Dun & Bradstreet, that's a good point. Okay, somebody just put it in the chat. Truly blessed, thank you. So Vanessa, nav.com, that website is in there, but Dun & Bradstreet is another company, and they are the ones that provide you with your DUNS number. And your DUNS number is the number that you need if you're going to be going after government contracts. So your DUNS number basically will kind of put you on the business map and show that you're a legitimate business and that they kind of verify you to a point. But that's the thing with that. You don't want to use one of those virtual addresses. I've heard that's not wise. I know, I don't know. I don't think you should use a virtual address with Dun & Bradstreet. I think you're supposed to, and if you have a home address, I'm sorry.
And then Miss Monica, isn't NAV like just it's like like how we have Experian, it's like the bureau, but for your business, correct? NAV
Actually,
is like the bureau for our business where, oh, go ahead.
I was about to say, is it the bureau for our business or is it a company that helps us get to the bureaus of our business?
It's a company. It's a company that helps. It's not part of the
right.
That's technically the business. It's not. Sorry.
But when you say help, so when I go to nav.com in my app and I pay for my membership, what it's doing is reporting my business credit as if I was having my personal credit, where it will report my, Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax.
Right. It's reporting you. NAV is a trade line for you.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's all they are.
So you guys are using it one and the same. So you're using it as the trade line, but I'm saying also NAV is where it reports all of your business credit. So it can tell you where you're defaulting at in your rating.
It's just regurgitating information from the repository. It is not a repository itself. You have repositories that are Experian, there's only 3 repositories: Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. And they each have business divisions. NAV regurgitates information from them to you. So it looks like they're doing all this stuff. They're just organizing and categorizing the information for you. at a
Yeah, so it's like
convenience.
Credit Karma. So it's like Credit Karma for our credit.
Correct.
That's what it's like.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, I was making
But
sure we're
it's
on the
good
same
that
page.
you have it. Huh?
No, I was just making sure we're saying the same thing. So for me, NAV is considered Credit Karma for our personal credit. That's how I
Correct.
interpret it. Okay.
Is it, Zara, do you mind sharing what the membership fees look like for NAV? Because I need to look into that.
It's $24.90. It's $24.99 a month.
That sounds worthwhile. Are you happy with the subscription?
It's just been a month, so I can't give a real review. So I
Okay.
can't give a real, not yet, but I'm trying to see if it really works as well. But like you all said, it does add as a trade line to your credit, but it also, it acts as Credit Karma, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Credit Karma for your business. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am.
That's a perfect way
Okay.
to look at it. Perfect.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Alara, thank you for being here. Any other questions? Looks like we're starting to
This
lose
call
some
was
people.
awesome. Yeah, but this call was awesome though. It was much needed.
Yeah, I'm glad we had it. And then, like I said, guys, I won't take a long time to get that Notary Business 103. I think I'm gonna cut off work for the day and enjoy some family time. So it won't be today or probably even tomorrow. But next week we'll get that Notary Business 103 checklist into the Notary Business, you know, the course, and you'll be able to finish everything up. So thank you guys for being a part of it. I really enjoyed this call. It was super cool in the kitchen, and I'm sure we'll do this again soon. I'm about to go play.
Thank you, Monica.
Y'all have a good
Bye.
day.
Thank you, Ms. Monica. Bye-bye.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.